Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling one of Shakespeare's most famous and beloved sonnets, Sonnet 116. Let me not to the marriage of true minds. This poem is a powerhouse, a passionate declaration about the very nature of love itself. So, grab your notebooks and let's break down this iconic piece, line by line. The opening quatrain reads, "Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when an alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove." Right from the start, the speaker declares that he refuses to accept anything that could come between two people who truly love each other. This isn't just a casual statement. It's a profound commitment. The phrase marriage of true minds is super important here. While it certainly refers to a legal union, Shakespeare also uses marriage metaphorically to mean a deep, dedicated, and spiritual union between people, independent of wedding vows. It's about a bond between true minds, minds that are faithful and honest with each other. Given that many of Shakespeare's sonnets are believed to be addressed to a young man, this metaphorical sense becomes even more significant, as a legal marriage between them wouldn't have been possible. When the speaker says he won't admit impediments, he's directly referencing the language of Renaissance marriage ceremonies, where couples were asked to confess any impediment preventing their lawful union. By refusing to admit them, he's basically saying true love overcomes or simply doesn't contain such obstacles. Then comes the striking line, "Love is not love slash which alters when an alteration finds, slash or bends with the remover to remove." This isn't a paradox, but a distinction between true love and weak, insincere forms of affection. True love, he argues, does not change or diminish in the face of challenges or difficulties. Literary devices are already in full swing. We see personification as love alters or bends. There's powerful polyptoton with alters slash alteration and remover slash remove, implying that if love fails, it loses its very identity by becoming the destructive force. Notice the enjambment across these lines, particularly from minds to admit impediments and love to which alters. This visual and rhetorical flow mirrors the idea that true love overcomes obstacles. Even the line breaks themselves. The alliteration of "am" sounds and "mean not to the marriage of true minds" connects the speaker to this ideal love, contrasting with the sounds in "alters when an alteration finds," which signal the forces love resists. While the meter might start a bit chaotic, this actually reinforces the poem's point. Like love, the poem's rhythm perseveres through its initial metrical difficulties, eventually establishing a smooth and effective iambic rhythm. Moving on, the speaker presents powerful metaphors for love's constancy. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Here, the tone shifts slightly to one of emphatic declaration. The speaker passionately states what true love is. First, it's an ever-fixed mark. This is a metaphor for a lighthouse or beacon, a permanent structure that stands unshaken by tempests, violent storms. The word tempest itself has a fascinating etymology from the Latin tempus, meaning time, suggesting love endures not just storms, but time itself. Just as a lighthouse guides sailors through dangerous waters, true love guides people through the complexities and troubles of life, offering a solid, unwavering reference point. Then, love is compared to the star to every wandering bark. Here, bark means a ship. In Shakespeare's time, sailors relied on stars for navigation, measuring their height to plot their course. So, like a star, love helps people navigate and make sense of their world. While it guides everyone, every wandering bark, its ultimate worth's unknown. This suggests that the value of true love is immeasurable and profound, even beyond human comprehension, echoing ancient philosophical ideas, like Plato's, about the highest forms of love being incomprehensible. This comparison is particularly clever because it reverses a common trope in Renaissance sonnets, where poets often depicted themselves as out-of-control ships due to love. Shakespeare, instead, shows love as the force that leads to safe and responsible navigation. The relative metrical regularity of these lines also mirrors the solidity and dependability of the love being described. We also see hyperbole in the claims of love being never shaken and ever fixed. The poem then confronts the ultimate test, the passage of time. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. The speaker reiterates his central theme. True love does not change, even as people age and circumstances shift. He declares love is not time's fool, meaning it is not mocked or controlled by the passage of time. He acknowledges that physical beauty, represented by rosy lips and cheeks, inevitably fades. This fading is vividly illustrated through the personification of time. Time is depicted as a destructive figure, he wielding a bending sickle. This sickle is a powerful symbol of mortality, like death's scythe, cutting down youthful beauty and vitality. The phrase "sickle's compass come" refers to the circular, cutting motion of the tool. Despite this inevitable decline of physical form, the speaker insists, love alters not with his brief hours and weeks. It remains constant and bears it out even to the edge of doom. This phrase can be interpreted in two ways. Either love lasts until death itself, till death do us part, or until doomsday, the absolute end of time. Either way, it's a statement of unending endurance, a deeply hyperbolic claim that underscores the speaker's unwavering belief in love's invincibility. The tone here is insistent and defiant, arguing against the common understanding of how relationships might evolve or cool over time. While beautiful, some might find this idealism unrealistic or rigid. The sustained iambic pentameter and regular rhyming in this section contribute to a sense of controlled, almost perfect idealism, which could be seen as artificial or constrained. The harsh consonant sounds in Sickles' compass come create a cacophony that emphasizes time's cruel power. Finally, we arrive at the famous concluding couplet, the volta or turn of the sonnet. If this be error and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. Here, the speaker reflects on the entire argument he's just made, and his tone shifts to one of absolute, undeniable certainty. He starts by allowing for the possibility of being wrong. If this be error and upon me proved. The phrase, upon me proved, even suggests he's inviting others to examine his own behavior and relationships as evidence. This is especially poignant given the traditional reading of the sonnet sequence, which depicts his own relationships as often tumultuous and full of scandal. But instead of wavering, he immediately delivers his powerful, mic-drop assertion in line 14. If his definition of true love is incorrect, then he has never written a poem, and no one has ever truly loved. This is a massive hyperbole. It's not meant to be literally proven, but rather to impress upon the reader the sheer force of his conviction and the intensity of his belief. The hyperbole here is key. It can be interpreted in two main ways. Either as a sincere, romantic declaration of a transcendent love that humanity should strive for, or as something so dramatic and grandiose that it might lose some of its power, potentially making the speaker seem unreliable. The rhyme scheme of this final couplet is also very telling. Unlike the typical Shakespearean sonnet, which introduces a new rhyme, GG, Sonnet 116 returns to the rhyme sounds of lines 2 and 4, BB. This unusual return reinforces the poem's core argument. Just as true love resists change, so too the poem resists novelty, circling back to its foundational claims. The alliteration and consonants of the end sounds in never writ, nor no man ever loved, add an emphatic, almost triple negative force to his assertion, sealing his unshakable stance. The final caesura in this line also adds a dramatic pause before the final, absolute claim. So, does Shakespeare's definition of love hold true for you? Please let me know what you think in the comments below. And remember to like and subscribe, as that would be truly appreciated. Thank you.